Storm Track 12 meteorologist Lesto with you. Another cold start on this Wednesday morning. Record-setting cold again this morning. We'll take a look at the numbers, but at least the tide is turning as we get this polar vortex to go back up across the poles and eventually warm us back up to well above average as far as temperatures are concerned for the weekend. Again, record-setting cold this morning, but the positive side is we didn't have the wind, and this is it as far as record-setting cold is concerned. But already this morning we've set several new records on top of the last 36 hours where we've been setting records. We see that warming trend. Eventually we finally get above freezing for the first time in a while later this afternoon, and then we go way above normal as we do head on into the weekend. It's a trade-off, though. Some scattered showers are going to be around for the weekend and also some cloud cover. Now, we're not talking about a complete washout, but again, we are going to have a repeat of what we saw last weekend as far as some scattered showers being for us here in eastern Carolina. Now, where were those records this morning? Well, we set them in New Bern, in Kinston, and in Washington. New Bern and Kinston just barely setting the records. Fairly good defeat there by about 4 or 5 degrees, setting the record there in Washington. Again, this is it. The tide is turning as far as this cold weather is concerned. But take a look at daytime highs yesterday where we topped out at. Yeah, didn't get out of the mid to upper 20s. It was a brand new record for record low high temperatures for Washington, for Morehead City, for New Bern. And in case you're wondering, that 29 in New Bern, got to go all the way back about 5 to 10 years since we were that cold in New Bern for a daytime high. Last time we were below freezing for a daytime high was January 22nd of 2011, but January 16th and January 18th of 2009 and 2005, respectively, were the last time we had daytime highs in the upper 20s. And again, we did this with no snow cover on the ground. That's the amazing part about this, that we haven't had any fresh snow. It's been pure Arctic air that is now starting to leave the playing field as we go on through the next couple days. So here's what we're going to be tracking. The hours below freezing as of around 7 o'clock this morning, 30-plus hours below freezing, and it won't be until about noontime that we finally get above that freezing mark. About midnight, Monday night going into Tuesday, as that Arctic air came in, that's when most of us dip below freezing. It has been quite an unusual last couple days here with the wind chill advisories and the record-setting cold. But that's it. We're starting to turn the corner. Upper 30s near 40. Still below average by about 10 or 15 degrees for later on this afternoon, but that sunshine and light winds, that's the other thing. We don't have the wind chills like we did yesterday. High clouds do start to build in as we head overnight tonight. I think quickly temperatures drop into the low to mid-20s this evening and then kind of steady out there as those high clouds do start to build in. And then for the day tomorrow, a mixture of sun and clouds. Those clouds will definitely thicken up by the afternoon, and it will become more seasonable as far as temps are concerned. Upper 40s to mid-50s. Again, that's about average for this time of year. As I mentioned, the polar vortex is now being sent back up towards the poles. Yeah, it's still cold in central Canada, but southwesterly winds are eventually going to bring warmer air into our neighborhood here. So that warmth, if you want to call it that you see in Dallas and San Antonio this morning, will eventually overspread the area. And it all has to do with the way the Jetstream is reconfiguring itself. Polar vortex continues to move back up towards the poles. A little bit of an upper-level ridge starts to reestablish itself here off the southeast coast. And you'll notice how it kind of pokes back in here. And as a result, we get more of a south-southwesterly flow. Now, that is going to pull moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico and eventually sling it our way, but it's also bringing the warmth out of the tropics with it. Next charge of some colder air with a front going down through the central plains, and that does eventually by Sunday, Monday, work eastbound here for us. But you'll notice it's a glancing blow. We're not taking the polar vortex, lopping it off and bringing it from Minnesota across Pennsylvania like we did here in the last 2 or 3 days. It's in, it's out. We've cooled down a little bit behind it and then warm back up again as we head on into the first part of next week. Arctic high is now departing off of the coast. You can see that stream of moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico up along the eastern seaboard here. And we have been tracking some high mid-level clouds along the coast early this morning. But for the most part, we are going to be looking at more tranquil weather. And again, that jet stream reconfiguring itself, bringing those high mid-level clouds and the moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico as we do head on in through the next couple days here. So future track does show the high departs off the northern mid-Atlantic coast. Sun shines around for the day today. A little bit of a northeasterly wind, and that's going to kind of lock the dry, cool Canadian air in at the lowest levels of the atmosphere. Meanwhile, at the Jetstream levels, you can kind of see some of those high mid-level clouds starting to build in from southwest to northeast as we go on through the day tomorrow. Again, a lot of sunshine around. Chance of a spotty shower or sprinkle late tomorrow night going into the day, early morning hours on Friday. But I think for the most part, we will remain on the dry side. Again, we've got that northeasterly flow of the dry, cool Canadian air at the low levels. So it's going to take a while to moisten the column up before we get some showers in here. But it is possible as we go through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, still some timing differences when the coastal trough develops, how heavy the rainfall potentially could be. So the weekend forecast from Friday into the weekend still kind of up in the air right now as far as I'm concerned. We may be dry on Friday, we may not. I may have to put some showers in there. Either way, though, the warmth is definitely going to be coming with that surge of air. We're talking about temps in the 60s on Friday, maybe even with some peaks of sunshine in here on Saturday and Sunday in and around the showers. Temps surging to the 70s and then a bit of a cool down as we head into next week. Hey, keep in mind you can track all this craziness. Download our free Storm Track 12 mobile app for your iPhone, iTunes, iPad, iPod, as well as your Android, all available in the Android market as well as the iTunes store for free here at Storm Track 12. Have yourself a good hump day. Try to stay warm. And again, we're turning the corner as far as this cold air is concerned. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still.